Nightmare Fractal is the first Fractal to come with a challenge mode. Since it doesn't change the mechanics of the Fractal much, just adds some challenge through health boosts, phase changes and some extra attacks, I will only explain the challenge mode, and if you know the mechanics you can easily play the normal mode as well. I'm Summer and here is a detailed breakdown of the Fractal. You can only activate the Fractal's challenge mode in the tier 4 version by talking to the Harbinger of Woe in the start area before dropping down to the electric barrier. This Fractal is in the daytime, so you should use Superior Sigil of Force and Impact or Air in conjunction with powerful Potion of Staying Scarlet's armies on power builds to maximize damage. Every enemy after Mama is great, and therefore even Sigils of Serpent Slaying work. Replace Impact or Air Sigil with it. Take out the 3 Assault Knights, red, blue and green. They share the same abilities, a knockdown and an AoE pull that affects the entire room except of their own position, both of which can be dodged. Break their Defiance bars and defeat them to awaken Mama. Then use /GG to reset your cooldowns. It's best if the group splits up to eliminate the knights simultaneously. Before jumping down, stack Might, Quickness and Alacrity. In organized groups, use a Watchwalk portal device to teleport from the Mistlock to Mama. Mama will rise after a few seconds of invulnerability, launching its first attacks as a spinning knockback. This attack should be interrupted through crowd control before it hits. Subsequent spin attacks can be managed, for example by the Firebrand, as long as there isn't excessive AoE that could remove H's. Note that the second spin animation will always land. Also, if you have the Mistlock instability Toxic Sickness, make sure to turn away from your teammates just before the Vomit Toxin, the orange cone, hits, otherwise you will infect those in front of you. At every 25% health, Mama gains invulnerability and an Assault Knight will spawn, similar to those encountered previously. Quickly break its Defiance bar and burst it down while Mama continues its attacks. When Mama reaches 33%, it will create a large Nightmare Miasma field that inflicts massive damage. It will also become mobile, jumping towards players, unleashing shockwaves that knock down and attacking with stun cones. It's crucial to eliminate the last Assault Knight at 25% health promptly. Fast crowd control and understanding attack animations are essential to succeed in this fight. To proceed, you need to capture 2 altars. Pull the 2 groups of Great back to the passage and eliminate all the enemies there. Start capping the altars as soon as possible, but remember that standing inside will inflict agony on you. Only the enemy crate can disrupt the capping, so you can ignore the hallucinations. Familiarize yourself with the red orb patterns, as they can quickly kill you. Blue orbs will provide significant healing even if you are affected by agony. Additionally, having more players at an altar doesn't speed up the capping process. More than one person inside is unnecessary. Variant 1. The Puck approach, pulling all enemies. First, pull all enemies to the center and wait for one player to pull all of them together before taking them down. You can aggro the mobs at the altars, so that after killing all of them, one person can easily cap each altar. Just make sure to wait until all enemies are defeated before moving to avoid them running back. Variant 2. The organized fast approach. In this strategy, the group splits into teams of 2 and 3 to cap each altar. As you move up, stick to the wall furthest from the central mobs to avoid pulling them. Use Harpy Feathers if needed. Pull the mobs from the side altar circles, defeat them quickly and then cap the altars. One person should aggro the remaining mobs in the central circle, allowing the rest of the party to cap without interference. Note that respawning Wuthering hallucinations can disrupt capping here, so use pull to remove them from the central altar and ensure there are enough players inside at all times. Once all 3 altars are capped, use /GG immediately if anyone in the party needs it, and then proceed to the second boss. Before the ramp, a group of Krite will attack. Simply keep moving to avoid them. Use dodges, evades, or invulnerability skills to navigate through the cascading orbs, and disable them by walking through the orb at the top of the ramp. Typically, a single player with high mobility will skip ahead to Siax, while the rest of the party remains behind. Trigger Siax, wait for them to appear, and then use /GG as well. Before approaching the red orb and starting the fight, stack Might, Quickness and Alacrity. In organized teams, use a Watchwalk portal device to teleport from the Mistlock to Siax. During the fight, break Siax's Defiance bar as quickly as possible to interrupt his Caustic Explosion skill. Failing to do so will wipe your party. Stay alert for his bouncing orb barrages, Vomit Toxin and the exploding volatile hallucinations, which appear below 75% health. Avoid standing in the red AoE when the inner circle reaches the outer edges, as this will spawn a nightmare hallucination. They are aware that in average groups, 5 volatile hallucinations will spawn in various locations around the arena. Each will target the nearest player, applying a tether effect that makes their target visible. If approached, the ad will explode upon reaching melee range, causing daze and inflicting conditions on all players within its explosion radius. However, if the ad is killed while its target is outside the explosion radius, it won't detonate. A good strategy is to move to the opposite side of the boss, allowing the ad to walk through the hitbox and die from cleave damage before reaching its target, neutralizing the threat. When Siax hits 66% health, he gains invulnerability, and 4 echoes of the unclean will spawn in the north, east, south and west. These ads must be quickly defeated to interrupt this caustic explosion. The same pattern occurs at 33%, though the spawn positions will shift clockwise. Assign players to each ad before the fight begins by setting waypoints. In pickup groups, both boon supports typically focus on one ad together due to their lower DPS. This is the only boss in this fractal where you can run condition damage builds without a disadvantage. Walk through a teleport and trigger Ensolyss after defeating Siax to establish the new checkpoint, then use /GG to reset all cooldowns. Before starting the fight, stack might, quickness and alacrity. Well-coordinated teams will utilize a white mantle portal device to teleport to the boss. When the fight begins, avoid standing in the center arena of the platform to prevent being knocked back. Once Ensolyss loses his invulnerability, there will be a CC bar that can only be broken for about 1 second, so time your crowd control carefully. Nearly all of Ensolyss's attacks include a knockback or pull, so make sure to learn how to dodge or move out of each one. The most dangerous attack is his Shockwave Shatter combo, where he slams down a yellow shockwave similar to Mama's attack below 33% health, spawns hallucinations at each player's location and shatters them after 2 seconds. Once again, fast crowd control is key. Quickly break his Defiance bar to interrupt his high damage attacks. Always stack around the center area and avoid following him to the edges, as he will often teleport back. At 66% and 33%, Ensolyss will teleport to the center and gain invulnerability. The party will need to split up to cap 5 altars, similar to previous phases. Red orbs and shockwaves will appear from the center, so learn the pattern to avoid damage. Try to catch the blue orbs, as they will heal you significantly. After the orb phases, break the Defiance bar immediately to prevent Ensolyss from knocking everyone off the platform. Below 66%, Ensolyss gains a new ability, where he slams 2/4 of the platform, knocking anyone standing in the orange areas off. You can safely stand in the purple areas. Below 33%, he may summon a special shockwave that travels inward towards him, unlike previous ones, and deals massive damage to nearby players. With enough crowd control and DPS, this attack should never happen. When Ensolyss reaches 15% health, he will cease using his usual attacks, and only a small bubble in the center will protect you from his deadly rain. Trade will chart through the middle, indicated by large arrows on the ground, complicating positioning. Bring stability and ages to make this phase easier. When you defeated Ensolyss, you have successfully completed the Nightmare Fractal in Challenge Mode. I hope you find this quick guide useful. If you did, be sure to leave a like, and if you want to see more guides in this series and much more, consider subscribing. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.